This is the second edition of UConn Women's Basketball Plus on YouTube. I am your host, Hamilton Neal, guiding you through another episode here today. We're talking all about UConn versus Notre Dame. Big Sunday afternoon rivalry. UConn taking their first loss of the season, 74-60, number 7 Fighting Irish winning this basketball game. And there are a number of factors as to why Notre Dame won this game and why they won it the way that they did. But the most important thing to me, it was physicality. It was post-finesse. UConn lacked that. That was a strength for Notre Dame. It was a weakness for UConn. And you can see that in the stats. Maddy Westbeld, 17 points. Lauren Ebo, 12 points. Those two were operating on the interior consistently. The leading scorer for Notre Dame was Olivia Miles, 21 points, along with 8 rebounds and 4 assists. But it went through the inside. It was an inside-and-out kind of game. And that's how it should be. That's how you're supposed to be playing the game of basketball. So, from an offensive perspective, it was balanced. It was impactful. Nothing got out of bounds. Nothing got out of line for Notre Dame. On the UConn side, by default, everything was out of balance because Amari DeBerry's not playing in the post right now. Played a little bit here in this game at 5 points. But Aaliyah Edwards, she's the only post player, the only big, true big, that's playing a lot of minutes right now. I mean, Ayanna Patterson has some size, Griffin has some size, but they're not true post players. So when you're looking at true post players, Aaliyah Edwards is the only one that's playing like 30, 35 minutes right now. And she has to play that much because there's no one else to relieve her. Dorky Uhas is out with a thumb injury. Ice Brady's out for the year. So despite 14 and 5 from Edwards, a good performance just wasn't enough. There were too many bodies on the other side, too many bigs for Notre Dame for a UConn to withstand. So that was the first thing, a lack of physicality. 40-27, they lost the rebounding edge big here in this game. That's the first thing. Second thing is Azzi Fudd went down with a knee injury. No points, 2 assists here in this game for Azzi. Injury occurred in the second quarter. Aaliyah Edwards is taking some contact. She's falling backwards onto the knee of Azzi Fudd. One of those freak things, one of those weird injuries that can happen. Immediately after the injury, right after the injury occurred, Azzi went to the bench, got checked out. Apparently was cleared to come back in. She played a little bit, going closer to halftime. And then in the second half, we didn't see her at all. Not a minute from Azzi Fudd in the second half. That affected UConn offensively. It affected their motion. That's one thing that's so critical within their offense is players moving and cutting without the basketball. Constant motion. Flare screens, pick and roll action, ball screens, all of those things so important in UConn's offense. And it affected a player like Nika Meal because when Azzi's not in the game and when Lopez-Senechal is not moving as much, and when players are keying in on her more because Azzi's not out there, Nika can't probe the defense. She can't do that as effectively. So Azzi Fudd being out affected so many things for UConn. And they can't afford her to be out. They can't afford her to miss time. It is a likely possibility at this point, though, because when we see knee injuries, again, they're always unpredictable. You just never know how long someone's going to be out. We saw that with Paige Bueckers last year. And again, as far as Azzi Fudd's status, the extent of this injury, we don't know that at this point. We're not going to know that until we hear from Gino Auriemma or until we hear from Azzi herself. So, again, the injury, even more than the loss, that's what's on the minds of UConn fans and everybody within this program. So, no Azzi, lack of physicality, and third, lack of energy. UConn didn't come out with as much energy and passion in this game. Notre Dame had more of that. UConn was flat. Just like a flat line the entire game. And it wasn't just those three things. It was a lack of impact from other players that have been big this season. Aubrey Griffin, 3 points in this game. Caroline Ducharme, 2 points, 3 rebounds. Lopez-Senechal was great. Lou had 21 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Aaliyah Edwards, as we mentioned, 14 and 5. Nika Meal had 11, 6 and 5. Only 3 in double figures. 21 of 57 shooting, 36.8%. Nothing went right for UConn here in this game. A lot of turnovers. They were very sloppy with the basketball, missed a lot of shots close to the rim. So there's a lot of things to improve on. Going into that Princeton game, on the other side of the coin for Notre Dame, Olivia Miles, superstar kind of performance, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 dimes. Maddy Westbeld, 17 points, 9 boards. Lauren Ebo had 12 and 4. And Sonia Citron and Dara Mabrey both had 10 points apiece as well. Guys, that's all the time we have on this edition of UConn Women's Basketball Plus. Continue to keep it locked here on the channel for all things Huskies. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.